I need my Game of Thrones fix, my George R.R. Martin fix. I don't know about you guys, but we're in luck. We have Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming up soon, which actually looks really, really cool. I'm excited about this one. This is from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a really fun story. This one takes place before for the Game of Thrones show that we've already seen. So let's take a look at this final trailer. This is the last one here before it comes out, and we're gonna see what we think of it. So let's get this queued up and started here. So there is Sir Duncan the Tall. He is a hedge knight, and we'll get a little more into what that means as we dig into this.
What's your name?
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
You know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms, then?
The good ones.
And that's Egg, short for Aegon Targaryen. So he immediately burns Duncan the Tall there, saying that he doesn't know him. And when Dunk asks him if he knows all the knights, he says he knows the good ones. And because he doesn't know him, the implication is that he's not that good. So let's see.
Sir Erland raised me to be a true knight, not with sword or lance, but with honor.
So that man there, Sir Duncan the Tall was that man's squire, the man who passed away. So when he passes away, he takes his gear and he moves on to try and become a knight that gets picked up by somebody along his travels. So
Sir Duncan the Tall, how good a knight are you?
Journey is a contest.
No answer. Gross. That sound, man. I hate that sound. It's bad enough that I had to stop the video to mention that I hate that sound.
Maybe the gods figure this is what I deserve. I need to fight honorably.
Arion would like your head.
Sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man.
So this story, I believe, is centered around some incident happens with Sir Duncan the Tall, and it all centers around a trial by combat, a modified trial by combat. I think it's like a 7-on-7 tournament. So,
and so I ask you again, how good a knight are you?
He doesn't have an answer, it seems.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So be brave. Be just. Be tall.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms, January 18th. So we're coming up on that. That'll be here almost immediately. So that one's going to give us something new to watch here. So let's dig into the background of this story a little bit. So let me cue something up here. Okay, let's get a little more room there. So Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So upcoming television series adapted from the Tales of Dunk and Egg, a novella series by writer George R.R. Martin. The show is a prequel to the TV sensation Game of Thrones, which was based on his A Song of Ice and Fire novels. So Night of the Seven Kingdoms chronicles the unlikely friendship and myriad adventures of Sir Duncan the Tall, known as Dunk, and Prince Aegon V Targaryen, Egg, as he goes by, as they wander the fictional land of Westeros, set to premiere on HBO and HBO Max January 18th. Show's created by Martin and Ira Parker, with the latter serving as showrunner. So let's look at what the source material is here. So A Night of the Seven Kingdoms takes place 72 years after the Targaryen Civil War, depicted in House of the Dragon. So we've seen that. We believe we have another season of that coming up at some point here. Another prequel series about a century before the events of Game of Thrones. While the previous shows were based on books concerning a large part with the ruthless politicking within the highest echelons of the Seven Kingdoms, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms has its source material the lighthearted episodic tales of a low-born but honorable knight and his squire, who more often stumble into adventures than seek it out. So, yeah, very different direction story-wise compared to what we're used to. So The TV series is the first in the franchise not to feature dragons, which, I think I saw there was one clip in one of the earlier previews that did show a dragon, but it may be a quick thing. So I believe it probably doesn't feature them, or I imagine it shows them for a hot minute and then moves past them. And that might not be a bad thing. Sometimes you don't want to lean too much into stuff like that. It makes it less special when you see it too much. So, especially when there's another season of House of the Dragon coming. The last known dragon died more than 50 years before the start of the narrative. Oh, so maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe there wasn't a dragon in one of those previews. I thought I saw one, and none would appear in Westeros until Daenerys Targaryen's dragons about 90 years later. The show is expected to offer deeper insights to the impending decline of the Targaryen dynasty, which ruled Westeros for almost 300 years with the might of those dragons. So, knowing that family, as we've seen in these shows, it's probably a good thing. They're all trouble. The Targaryen family is trouble. All that inbreeding has made them a little silly and not very logical, not very smart. They have a lot of violent tendencies, a lot of tendency to go crazy and to have issues with madness. So, which we've seen in other things in reality lately, which we won't get into. Minnesota. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. A little bit of a cough here. Please bear with me. Let's see here. So the initial season of the show is expected to be faithful to the storyline of the Hedge Knight, the first novella in the Dunk and Egg series. The book follows Dunk, a naive and exceptionally tall young man who sets out to make his way in the world as a Hedge Knight after the death of Sir Arlen of Pennytree, whom he served as a squire. So a Hedge Knight is not sworn to a liege lord, but earns his living by performing odd jobs, offering protection for hire, and participating in tournaments. So, yeah, he's a hired gun. It looks like medieval competitions where knights display their skills, although most are considered unreliable and some even turn to crime. Dunk is good-hearted and honorable to a fault. So they kind of show that he seems very. He seemed like a big sweetheart in those previews. Like he wants to do right, and he actually cares about doing right, which is good. So definitely not like Jaime Lannister. So an orphan from a slum district called Flea Bottom with no ties to nobility, Dunk prepares to prove his worth as a knight at a tournament and perhaps catch the eye of a noble lord who may take him into his service. At an inn along the way, he meets Egg, short for Aegon, who he does not know is a Targaryen prince disguised as a stable boy. So he is walking around with a shaved head, and Targaryens, as you know, have a very distinctly colored set of hair on them. So if you're going to hide for some reason or another, and you're a Targaryen, it would behoove you to shave that head and keep that hair non-visible to people. So we'll see if that's why they're doing that. Egg insists on being his squire, and despite some hesitation, Dunk agrees to let him, impressed by the boy's knowledge of knights and nobility. However, before he can set foot on tournament grounds, Dunk is involved in a brawl as he tries to save a puppeteer named Tansel, too tall, from the sadistic prince Aerion Targaryen. The Hedge Knight is subsequently imprisoned and set to be judged for his crimes, exaggerated by Aerion and his brother Daeron to include the alleged kidnapping of their brother Egg. So even though Egg wanted to go along, they're going to imply he was kidnapped to make the charges worse. So in reality, it was Daeron who had disguised Egg, his intended squire, and fled their father's escort to avoid taking part in the tournament. So it sounds like he was scared and he tried to run off, and this is his cover. So notwithstanding any defense Egg may offer in his favor, Dunk must prove his innocence by winning a trial of 7, a lethal melee where 2 groups of 7 knights battle each other to see whom the gods favor. So sounds like it's going to be a really cool story. I'm excited about this one. I think this will be a really fun show. It's going to tide us over until the next season of House of the Dragon, which let's look that up. Let's see when that's coming. Okay, a quick Google search here. House of the Dragon Season 3 is confirmed and expected to premiere on HBO mid to late 2026, following a summer release pattern of Season 2, with production wrapping in late 2025 after filming from March to October 2025. Okay, so the season will cover more of the Dance of the Dragons from George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. We'll likely have 8 episodes and has already been renewed for a 4th season, ensuring the story concludes in Season 4. So it gets one more season after this. So yeah, this will definitely give us a little something to whet the appetite until this third season comes out. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this one's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a nice little change of pace from what we've seen from this universe. And yes, I will definitely be watching this one. Let me know if you're going to be watching it. And please, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, come back for more. I'm going to keep doing more of these, and I will see you all on the next one.